Caitlin, I am Thomas Showers, and this is my instructional video on the proper execution of a power movement, a lower body strength movement, and an upper body strength movement. For each of those, I've selected the hang power clean, the high bar back squat, and the flat barbell bench press. For each one of those core exercises, I've offered 2 progressions prior to the core exercise, and I will also add in a brief description of why I selected each of those core exercises before the instructional video. Thank you. I chose the hang power clean because we can teach it quickly, we can add weight quickly, we can practice the second pull over and over again and with very little room for error. The second pull may be arguably the most important part of the clean, and it has an amortization phase, which is so important to keep short in our explosive power athletes. So for the hang power clean, we're going to do a progression up and start with the lowest progression. My first exercise that I'm going to have Willie here do, Willie wave to the camera. Willie's going to do a kettlebell RDL. This is just to mimic the hip hinge movement before we get into the actual hang power clean. All right, everything's looking good with Willie, so I'm gonna progress it to the next movement, which is gonna be a kettlebell swing. I like the kettlebell swing because it adds in that semi-ballistic component, applying force through this implement. In this case, it's a kettlebell. Soon it's gonna be a barbell. So now we've progressed to the steel bar. This is our third progression before the hang power clean itself. Really, same idea as with the kettlebell before. Sit your hips down and back, some slight knee bend, weight in your heels. There you go, shoulders slightly cover the bar. Here, you're gonna RDL just like you were doing with the kettlebell. Keep the bar against your thighs, down to the top of your knee, right there. A little bit higher with that bar, just to the top of the knee, perfect. Weight is still in his heels, his head is up, that looks good, back is flat. Scabs are retracted. Now Willie, come up, back up to your power position. This is position 1. Keep those hips down just a little bit more. There you go, weight your heels, sit back. That's a good power position for Willie. So we're just gonna go down and up, down to 2. 2 is positioned just above your knees. Good, back up to 1. Back down to 2. Back up to 1, and then one more time through. Good. From here, I'm going to have Willie do a little bit of a jump shrug. So Willie, just like with the kettlebell, that semi-ballistic movement, I want you to apply force through your heels. Come up. I don't want you to actively plantar flex through your toes. Try to push through your heels and let yourself passively come up on your toes while shrugging your shoulders. Good. Sit down in that proper position. There you go, power position. All right, now let's go down to 2. Back up to 1. Jump shrug. Good. Keep that bar nice and tight. Do it one more time. Down to 2. Up to 1. Jump shrug. Good. So here now Willie's got the actual barbell. We're going to do the exact same thing. Sit down in that power position. Hips back. Knees slightly bent. RDL down to the top of the knee in that position 2. Back up to position 1. Jump shrug. All right, Willie's looking pretty good, so I'm going to have him jump the bar up to a front rack. Willie, I want you to think of your arms like ropes. Your hands are just tied onto the bar, just like ropes would be. And I want you to think about jumping the bar to your shoulders. So you're going to come down to position 1, or down to position 2, back up to 1. Now in that jump shrug, keep your arms loose, jump the bar up, bring your elbows through and high, let the bar rest on your shoulders like you would in a front squat. Back up to 1, jump shrug, let it come through, good. Let's do 3 of those. Back up to 1, jump shrug, good. One more. Now let's keep that bar nice and tight. Bar got away from him a little bit, so just keep it close as you can. One more time. That's a lot better. All right, there we go. Now Willie, let's smooth it out a little bit. When you go down to position 2 this time,
Go straight through position 1, make sure you're being nice and patient, let the bar get to that top position again, and then come right through from the knee. Weight your heels, look back. There you go. Let's do 3 of them, a little bit faster this time. There you go. Keep your weight in your heels when you're coming back up. Use your butt to jump that bar up, okay? Arms like ropes, nice and loose. Weight your heels, jump up. That's better. Good. Let's do one more. Down, back nice and tight. Arms like ropes, jump. Good. And there you have it. That's the hang power clean.
I chose the high bar back squat because I believe the back squat is the ultimate driving force of lower body strength. No other exercise can mimic the stimulus imposed on the body like the back squat can. I chose high bar positioning because it stresses hip extension and knee extension, which are both extremely important components to triple extension, which you see in almost any athlete, especially in the Olympic sports.
All right, Willie, so now we're gonna progress to the back squat. Our first progression is gonna be a prisoner squat. So Willie, I'm gonna have you interlace your fingers. Our next progression is gonna be the kettlebell goblet squat. So here we have the high bar back squat technique. This is Phil. Phil's gonna be my dummy for this one. So Phil, when you come up to the bar, and you go hands about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider. Make sure you're centered on the bar. Come in. Set the bar on top of your traps. This is a high bar technique. Feet a little wider than hip width. Make sure you're nice and solid. Weight your heels. Elbows down. Stand up. 2 or 3 steps, make them as few as possible. Make sure your base is nice and solid. Grip the floor with those toes, weight in your heels. Pull those elbows down, head forward, chin tucked. Let your knees track over your toes. Be very deliberate with the re-rack. Sit on top of your traps. Solid base, weight in your heels, those elbows down. Good. Let's do 5 reps. Good. Next try, keeping that chest up. Elbows down, good stuff. Knees tracking over your toes. Good. And that's the high bar back squat technique. Thanks, Phil.
My final core exercise that I've selected is the flat barbell bench press. I like the flat barbell bench because we can load the horizontal pushing mechanics more so than any other exercise. One thing I don't like about the flat barbell bench press is that if performed incorrectly, it can put your shoulder in a compromised position. I see a lot of athletes protracting their shoulders while they're finishing through with the movement, and obviously we need to keep those scaps retracted and depressed throughout the range of motion. So I'm a bit of a stickler on technique when it comes to the flat barbell bench press, but I do feel that it has a very important role in any strength coach's toolbox.
All right, for the first progression to the bench press, this is going to be a hands elevated push-up. So for our second progression up to the flat barbell bench press, we're going to start with a scat push-up. So Alright, so now we're going to be doing the flat barbell bench press. Willie, I'm going to have you sit your butt down on the bench for me. There you go. We're going to set your feet just in front of your hips, so scoot your heels back a little bit. Good. Make sure your feet are solid in place right down on the ground. Sit your chest back. Alright, now we're going to create tension with your legs, so I want you to push down through your heels. Reach up, grab the bar. Pull yourself into an arched position so that your hips are in contact and your shoulders are in contact. Good. Now we've got this nice arched position right underneath here, but your glutes are still in contact, shoulders are in contact. Throughout the range of motion of the lift, I want you to make sure that your scaps are nice and retracted, so we try to pinch them for me, pinch them together, touch your shoulder blades. Good. The barbell's right over the top of your eyes, about the nose area, so that's good. Those legs nice and tight throughout the range of motion. I want you to think about rowing the bar down to just below your nipple line and then pressing back up so that you finish just over your chin and in that mouth area. On 3, we're going to lift up the bar, make sure that your scaps stay retracted throughout this portion. Alright, set up your hands so they're about thumb's length away from the knurling. Good. Get a nice tight grip on the bar. We're going to go up on 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go, keep the bar out over your chin. Now roll the bar down to just below your nipple line. Keep those elbows nice and tight next to your body, good. Now press back up, you're gonna create an upside down J. Finish right over the chin, good. Same thing, row back down to just below the nipple line, press back up, stay braced, take in a big air before each one. Dry back up. That time your elbows winged out a little bit. I want you to keep your lats contracted and pinch those shoulder blades together, don't let them come out. Row back down, elbows tight, press, good. Let's do 3 more. Those heels driven into the ground, make sure you're finishing over your chin. 2 more, dry back up, good. Make sure you keep this elbow nice and tight. Lats tight, good. Stay tight, 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 dry back up. Exhale in between each rep. 1 more, dry back up over your chin. Good, nice job, Willie. Nice job. Back. Set up. That's a flat barbell bench press.
And for this final portion of my video, I just want to shed a little bit more light on my personality as a strength coach. I do have a sense of humor, believe it or not. It's a bit more sarcastic and situational though, so it might not have come through on these videos. But from a philosophical standpoint, I do practice what I preach. I believe in what's coming out of my mouth, and I believe that strength coaches should lead from the front. And to prove that to you, that I do practice what I preach, here are my 2 best lifts from this past weekend at a weightlifting competition up in Minnesota. I took first place at this competition and defeated the Minnesota state champion of 2015 in the 85 kilo weight class. You'll see I snatch 107 kilos and clean and jerk 134. Thank you.
Come on, Tom.
This concludes my video. I hope it wasn't too boring. My main goal was to be thorough, show you that I can safely and effectively build an athlete from the ground up who has little to no experience in complex exercises such as the hang power clean, high bar back squat, and the flat barbell bench press. Thank you, Caitlin. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.